I also remember the nurse that I mentioned. One day she began, as I was breastfeeding, she said, um, "So are you only going to breastfeed when Steven's not working?" And then she kind of stopped mid sentence and said, "Oh no, your mom will be there all day whenever he's not, right?" And I said, "You know, it will be me, but I know what to do when I'm by myself." And she just seemed really skeptical that I would be able to figure it out even as the baby got bigger and stronger. One day the OT came in and she had been really supportive, but she was asking me a lot of questions about the specifics of how I handle babies at home. And these were all things that I had already explained, like that we had an accessible crib set up and that I typically sat on the floor with young babies because I'm more stable that way. I became very upset when she suggested that perhaps she could mimic our setup at home there at the hospital and have me get down onto the floor to demonstrate how I did things. She even mentioned recording me. I was terrified that this was a test I had to pass in order to be allowed to bring the baby home. She said her intention was only to see what other support could be offered, but I found this frustrating as I had explained many times why my way worked best for me and that I had a lot of experience with babies who weren't my own, as well as my son, who at that point was in kindergarten.